Hi everyone, it's Paola. Welcome back to my channel, Art Graphic Design. You guys know what I do here. I tell you every time what I do here. Follow me on Instagram. Check out how you can donate to help my channel and my content creation below. Let's get into it. Today's video. Woo, okay, I take 1 week break and I'm feeling rusty. But anyway, today I wanted to kind of get back into the swing of things and do a Q&A. So I asked you guys on my Instagram to ask me questions and you delivered. I got too many questions to answer in one video, so I'm honestly gonna have to choose. Sorry if your question doesn't get answered, but just know that if I didn't answer your question, I probably have answered a similar one in a previous Q&A video, so go and watch those. My channel is always a fountain of knowledge, so you know, I've probably answered some of these questions before, and if you don't get your answer, go back and check those out. I've definitely answered questions about like freelance clients, a lot of that stuff in previous videos. But okay, let's get into these questions. You guys asked me about my life, my work, what's going on, projects, design, advice, everything. Okay, so this one says, how do you manage your time with everything? Like, what's your schedule like? So for me, scheduling myself, I really like to do it digitally. I'm not really an analog person. I used to be like a really big like notebook person, but I've switched that over and now I do a lot of stuff online. You guys told me about Notion. I ended up working with Notion and it's been amazing. I genuinely use Notion every single day. So that's my go-to for like scheduling and writing things down, to-do lists, calendars, times. That helps the most. But then also like keeping my schedule. I'm not really the type of person who feels the need to be busy all the time. I definitely like to relax as much as possible. Like that's my personality in my work and it really works for me. Like you don't have to be this person to be successful, to be like hustling every single second and waking up at 5 a.m. to get everything done or whatever like the thing is that you think you need to be successful or a great designer or whatever. Success is different for everyone. So I just like to keep my schedule as open as possible and I get the things done that I need to get done. So whatever I'm doing is working, but I'm definitely not doing tons every day. I try to space myself out and I still am a very busy person, but somehow I'm finding time to just enjoy life in the midst of everything. Like I read a thing recently that was like, if you get up at 10:30 every day and start your day, that's when you start your day. So like it doesn't mean you have to stop by 5 p.m. and you're done and you didn't get everything done for the day, but it also doesn't mean you have to work until midnight because you woke up late. Like it's just about balance and your type of routine and the type of person you are. Okay, so a couple of people asked about personal branding and like how to do that if you're lost, and then also like how to be satisfied with it, because I know as graphic designers we're never satisfied. That is kind of the problem with personal branding, is like you're in charge of it, you can change it at any time and you always feel like you want to. But my advice with personal branding is pick something that you know you like, something that you feel will be classic, and then you can expand off of from there. So like for me, I have my main logo and then I've made like a variation of that logo, a variation of the branding in general, and I have updated from there, but I've always kept that like small same logo. I just feel like you can always change up like photos and aesthetics, but keep a strong base if you've like kept your logo very simplified, maybe just lettering, maybe just something like very classic, bold, whatever it is, but like very you. So at least you know that bottom line is you, because that's not going to go out of style. It's not a big design trend. But then from there you can change things like photographs you use for your own profile pictures, or just photos you use along with the logo variation. Maybe you just change the color of it once in a while. Nothing crazy, but yeah, that's kind of how you like stick to it. But I know it's hard. You can always update if you feel like it, but I like to keep things at least as consistent as I can for as long as I can. But you know, every year, like at the beginning of 2022, I might do some updates on like photos, you know what I mean? And then just have like different kind of like color schemes because I've done a different profile photo for my whole brand. Okay, so I got this question that says, are you happy? And I kind of thought that was funny, but like really nice of you to check on me. And then also this question about like feeling like you've lost your passion and wanting to try another thing. So I feel like these two I could kind of answer in one, even though they're two different questions. Answering on a personal level, yes, I am very happy. I'm in a really good place in life and only good things are coming. I'm kind of in a waiting period as well with my life. So a lot of change is happening and it's just making me really happy and excited. So that's great. But then in work, am I happy? Have I ever lost my passion for it? Those two things I wanted to answer because I definitely have had times where I've lost my passion for graphic design, but I've also always found something I love about it to keep me in it. And I think that just changes. Like, my goals change as I get older or as I keep working in my career. My goals change. So I'm not always going to be the person who just wants to do freelance or just wants to work with clients, just does logo designs. Like, for me, I'm always changing. And right now, I just really want to work on my own stuff and work in my own design aesthetic and like branch out and be my own artist. So I do want to try different things. I loved different things all through school. So like, it wasn't just graphic design that I was interested in. I loved textile art. I loved working with fabric. I love so much stuff. So I definitely want to explore that and try it. And I don't think that means I've lost my passion for design. I'm just expanding it. So that kind of goes into, what job would you do if you couldn't be a designer? Well, I think I might work still in a creative field. I would probably work in like art history, like maybe museum curation, something like that, because I studied art history also in school and I really love it and I would like to pursue it more in general. So I'd probably just do something like that, like even like art restoration. How did you settle with deciding to become a freelancer? Like designer, I just feel like it's my job because I kind of like fell into it, even though yeah, I studied it, but like nothing really took another like turn to work out. So I'm just kind of like been thrown into the freelance thing or whatever because I couldn't get like a full-time job. Kind of content creation, YouTube became a thing for me that I didn't expect because it was like a hobby that I started, and I started a channel about like fashion and other stuff, and then it turned into a graphic design job. So it's like kind of weird. But like I said, I fell into it. It was kind of like nothing else was working for me, and usually that's how my life goes. It's like nothing else works except the one thing that I'm meant to be doing. So I always know that that's what I'm meant to be doing because I failed everything else. This one said, did you have a personal style while being in school? And I think that's a great question because I know a lot of your students and you're probably worried about that type of stuff. My answer would be, don't be worried about that type of stuff, because I think I definitely was finding my personal voice in school because of all my different types of projects. So it wasn't just my graphic design classes, it was a lot of like other art classes because I did a BFA. So I took a lot of different types of courses, and I think that's where I found that I did have a similar voice kind of translating through all different mediums. And I think I still haven't found my exact personal style, but that's okay. I'm honing in on that every day and figuring out who I am through my design work. So definitely school was like the catalyst to help me learn that. But don't worry about having that locked down. Like, you're exploring, you're learning. That's the point of school. Okay, so this one says, what is the starting point for the process of branding? So whether you're working with a client, doing a rebrand, doing your own personal project, my advice in where to start is, okay, so you've had the concept of the brand, right? Like, you have at least the brand name or whatever. Your first choices need to be based off of the brand's audience, the ethos of the brand, and the overall vibe of the brand. So like, the audience will inform the vibe and the ethos will inform the visual look and reasoning behind all your decisions. So obviously if it's for really young people, then you obviously want to make it new, very fresh, very approachable, whatever the brand is. So that's kind of how you need to start with like these types of like words and ideas and adjectives that are going to help you get there. And then from there, you just want to decide like what you're good at, what you start designing. I'm good at lettering, so I always start with lettering, the title of the brand. That's how you start building up a logo, and it becomes a brand from there. That's my like condensed version of branding and design, but you know, I have a lot of videos on that and we'll do more on that. Okay, so someone asked, any plans for the future in general with my husband? Yes, we have plans. We're moving together somewhere new, and I don't want to announce it yet because like it's really big and I'm going to talk about it later, but like I am moving, and next week I'll have a vlog where I'm like getting rid of clothes. I'm starting to do like a whole process. There'll be a ton of moving vlogs, ton of content on that, so look out. But I'm really excited for the future with my husband. It's going to be amazing. What's a brand you'd love to work with? So brands I'd love to work with, there's obviously like Adobe, wink wink, maybe something's happening there, I don't know, you didn't hear from me, I don't know. And then obviously like fashion brands and stuff, I'd love to like do a collaboration, like if I was a big established artist and like do a collaboration with like a fashion brand, that would be so cool. And then also I really want to work with Squarespace in general, love them. hope they will reach out to me. I'm gonna try to reach out to them. Okay, sorry about the construction noise, but best and worst parts of being a designer on YouTube. I love this question because, like, I am a graphic designer, but I also am a content creator on YouTube. Like, I see myself as a designer for content creation more than anything, like more than just like a freelance designer or something. So I feel like I am a YouTuber designer person. I think the best part about that is that I can share so much knowledge with you guys and like talk to you guys and just have this platform to like showcase my work that people actually care about, which is great. But also worst parts about that are that like people have their opinions about everything, and like you can put together something you're so proud of and people will just be like, oh, you didn't do it how I do it, so I'm mad. Like, I'll get comments a lot that are just like, oh, well, you didn't do it fast enough. And it's like, well, that's not really what I cared to do. Like, I was just showing how I do it. But yeah, it's always an opinion thing with people. So I'm blessed, obviously, having the opportunities that I get because of like YouTube and having a platform. But then it just opens your work up to more criticism, which is hard when sometimes you're not asking for it, but you're putting your stuff online, so what can you really do? Someone asked if owning a MacBook is necessary, and I think I've answered this before, but I'm here to encourage you that you can do design with whatever resources you have available. You don't need the big programs, like you don't need everything paid for. You can start with whatever you want to start with. Like you can start with just a drawing tablet or, you know, using someone else's computer. You don't have to have your own. You don't have to have all the Adobe programs. You could, you know, start with something smaller, a free program online. There's so many options, and I think, you know, it has to be accessible for you to do this. Like you don't need every single fancy thing in the world. A couple people asked about like having no experience or knowledge in getting into design or freelance, and especially with freelance, I just want to say like you learn along the way. Like you're not just gonna start and be like, I know everything about how to interact with clients or do billing or do the work or like brand accordingly to what this specific client needs, because every client's gonna be different. So I mean, you don't have to be an expert because you really can't be to get into freelance. I think you learn along the way, and I learn literally every single day. Like even this morning, I had a client that fell through, and I was like in a way where I was like, oh, like I should have done this, I should have done that. And it's like, oh, okay, every single experience is a learning one. Someone said advice for getting the most out of graphic design school. Talk to your professors. They're amazing and they have so much life advice and work advice that sticks with me now. Use all of the opportunities to like join things like exhibitions or internships or whatever, because I definitely joined exhibitions and that was always a great experience, like amazing. And I learned a lot. And then with internships, I didn't take advantage of that and I regret it. Like stuff, just like jobs or part-time jobs or internships or whatever, like talk to people, get info on that, and participate in like portfolio reviews, stuff like that. College just has so much like opportunity and time to like do stuff, and then when you get into like the real world, you realize that you don't have like the time and opportunities to do those things, so take advantage. Favorite and least favorite current design trends. I love gradients, you guys know, and I feel like that's really trendy right now. And then least favorite, I feel like really cutesy typefaces are in right now, and it's not me, so I don't use them. This one says, hi, the holidays are approaching, so what are cute DIY art and design gift ideas? This is great because I know there's a global supply chain problem, and so it's going to be hard to like order things online. So I think making and designing things for people is great. Designing greeting cards is really, really fun. Making art prints for your friends that they could either like frame or just like put up on their walls. That's awesome because you can get those printed with like higher quality paper, and I just think that's so cool. So I would either do something, if you're more into illustration, do something like completely illustrated for your friends and fam, or like a typography based print. Ooh, one more idea, also doing like a little book, like whether it be like a book of like letters, like type letters that you made, or a book of like photographs or whatever, but you make the book, like you print it and you bind it and everything. That would be awesome. Okay, so like I said, I couldn't get to every single question, but I definitely have answered a lot of these questions that I got in other videos, so check that out. If I didn't answer your question, I'm sure I've answered it somewhere. And also just ask questions below in the comments and I will talk to you there. So yeah, let's talk in the comments. Like this video if you enjoyed it. It really helps my channel, helps get recommendations out there for everyone to see. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye! Okay, construction has started again. Okay, that's fine. Beeping's fine.